Well, Phelan, once again, we have to enter the world of Jimmy Spencer in Revenge of the Red Baron!
Why don't you mind your own business, you decrepit piece of shit? Holy shit!
You mean Plain Fear.
Plain Fear!
It's a horror movie. Always was.
Well, see you guys. I think that's the whole video. We went down such a rabbit hole with this one. People had lots to say about the version of Revenge of the Red Baron that they saw. It turns out there's a much deeper backstory than we thought was going on in this movie, but the more we uncovered, the more it made sense. This was originally a horror film called Plain Fear. It was in the full moon Chucky style, which makes a lot of sense.
It was as if that's how he meant it all along.
Make sure they lock you up and throw away the key.
That version of this film was actually released in a lot of foreign markets.
Flying Toys. Die Rache des Roten Barons.
We do have a lot of differences toward the gore in it.
Yeah, the gore is toned down. A lot of the shots of impact are removed.
It looked like the violence was edited down. We were sniffing out that something seemed suspicious there. It's because it was a horror movie and they were snipping it down, I guess, to try and make it more of a kid's movie, but...
Except one of the shots is just as bad as it was in every version. Patrick Bristow dying. You don't see the shots of impact on him or the squibs blowing. He just awkwardly falls over on Tobey Maguire.
Come on, man, get up!
A lot of the violence in this is just like you see more of the impact, although there were a couple things that were cut from the final film entirely. They had the death of a security guard outside of the hospital who gets shot down.
Your security system is full of holes.
They also had the death of the nurse, which it was implied that she died, but you actually see it. And the old man that was the neighbor of Mickey Rooney's character in the hospital also horrifically dies of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Spadłaci ksywa.
Good stuff. I guess they decided that wasn't acceptable in a kid's movie, but they kept some of the other stuff.
Why don't you mind your own business, you decrepit piece of shit?
You'll notice some of the clips that we're showing here are from an English version, actually, because we also found that there was a third edit of this. A third edit in the screener.
And dealers, you ask for it, you got it. New Horizons Home Video gives you a 90-day pay-per-view holdback on Revenge of the Red Baron to ensure you high rentals from the day of release forward. Revenge of the Red Baron is a movie the whole family will enjoy and is supported by a nationwide ad campaign, including trailers on upcoming New Horizons releases. Full-size theatrical posters, ad slicks, and color flyers are available for all your advertising needs. And as always, New Horizons Home Video backs up Revenge of the Red Baron with its buy two, get one free special and its lifetime guarantee and no-fault return policy. As an added bonus, Revenge of the Red Baron is available with Spanish subtitles for all your Spanish-speaking customers. So fly on in today and order right away. Revenge of the Red Baron. Pre-book date February 2nd, 1994. Street date February 16th, 1994.
A screener tape was a tape that they would give to rental stores so that they would buy more copies of whatever film they're trying to sell there.
Yeah, this is very interesting because, a lot of the time, screener isn't going to be that different. A lot of the time, it'll just be watermarked at points, like saying, not for resale or rental.
Usually just has a watermark. Sometimes there's promotions at the beginning. There's a promo at the beginning of this one too. But for the most part, the movie itself usually just has a watermark on it. But this one is an interesting case because it is highly unfinished.
Richard! Shady! Here they come! What's that boy's name again?
Jeez, Dad, it's the same as yours.
Well, what's mine? Oh, James.
Usually when you're sending a screener, your film is not as unfinished as this is because you're trying to get people to buy it. But there's a lot of big differences.
There's a bunch of just like minor edits too. But like some dialogue is cut completely. I think there might be some bits that aren't even in plain view compared to the screener.
Did they hurt you?
No.
God.
It's quite interesting. I guess if you pay attention, there's some bits in the original that hint that something was removed. Like you see his mom has this folder and then it just disappears from under her arm in the final edit, but she tosses it at Tobey Maguire in the screener because it showed he was skipping class, and all that dialogue is removed.
I have been down at school all afternoon. That's your attendance record. You told me you had an after-school job.
This screener also is for the Revenge of the Red Baron version, which is the one that they edited to be for kids in North America.
A fun-filled comedy the whole family can enjoy.
But it includes all of the violence still in it, except for those bits that were cut out entirely, like the security guard.
Some bits edited out are very bizarre. Like the meeting with the father and Mickey Rooney at the beginning, that is way chopped down in the screener compared to the final. And all that is just them getting to like re-know each other, conversing a bit before they go in the house.
Also, by the way, there were some things noted in the video that Matt found out that we didn't know until we were watching the edit. The dogfight at the beginning, well, I guess all the dogfights were reused footage from a previous Roger Corman film called Von Richthofen and Brown from 1971. This is classic Corman reusing footage from other movies. He also reused some of the car wrecks from this movie in Attack of the Wasp Woman. Wasp Woman. I'll put it on screen. But he reused some of that later. I still have no idea if any of this was reused from something else. But those are the things that Matt caught. He also caught the Wasp Woman thing.
It's Roger Corman's remake of the classic Wasp Woman. Watch this ladybug take her victim by swarm.
We also didn't notice that Michael McDonald was the writer of this film.
Oh, yeah.
So he had to have been immensely confused when he saw that this horror movie that he wrote was released as this children's film called Revenge of the Red Baron.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me? That's not what I wrote.
I'd be pissed.
He's like, plain fear, you've come home. Revenge of the Red Baron. No!
You've come home.
Some people pointed out too, and I don't know why I didn't connect it. It's possible that some of the lightning bits were inspired by, or at least very similar to the film Biggles' Adventures in Time. So I don't know if there's some sort of subconscious borrowing from that, or if it's just something that's kind of similar. It still doesn't make a lot of sense.
Doesn't make any kind of sense.
It's not clear why lightning transports them through time, but I just wanted to mention Biggles' Adventures in Time because it stars Neil Dixon of She-Wolf of London fame.
Quick, untie us! Get us out of here before they start realizing you're not a god, you're just an American!
One of the interesting lines cut out at the beginning, too, is where Laraine Newman says to Tobey Maguire, "You were caught cheating." That is removed from the final, which changes the context of that conversation a little.
It does change the context a little bit, yeah.
He accused me of cheating.
He caught you cheating.
Well, I don't lie. He accused me of cheating.
For God's sakes, Jimmy. It's bad enough that you fight with other students, but now a teacher? Lying about it only makes it worse.
Well, I don't lie.
There was a little bit chopped out from Mickey Rooney talking to the doctor where he's complaining about the medicine, where they just chop all of it to him just saying that he's feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see more of the dad getting electrocuted.
Yeah, the dad gets electrocuted for way longer. Mm-hmm. That's good stuff, because he sucked.
There was also a shot establishing that Tobey Maguire placed the plane in a certain spot, and then it moves later.
They don't show the zoom in, too, to show that it's moved when he comes back.
Right, yeah, it's a little less clear that the plane moved.
More of a horror edit, I guess, but also just establishes that the plane moved way better. Because,
why you wouldn't cut other stuff out and leave that in? That's not so scary.
No, it's not scary. And, like, you don't have to play it scary. They play it ominously a little, but, you know, you could change the music. But
Spróbuj mnie dostać.
The music is very different in the horror version. It's more fitting for the tone of the film, certainly. And the ending song is like this like rock song in the Plain Fear version of it. The Plain Fear version, I believe, also aired on Showtime at some point. I'm not sure if this has been verified, but I think it did air in North America as the horror version, so some people might remember that. I can't imagine someone watching this screener and being like, this is a children's film?
Yeah.
Like, even the final version is confusing, but this is like a more violent version of that, where it's like, why?
Yeah.
You have squib shots and stuff, like this is a kid's movie?
A fun-filled comedy the whole family can enjoy.
Yeah, it's like just cutting out the squib exploding doesn't change it enough to make it, oh yeah, now it's a kid's movie, sure. People get blown away, but I didn't see the squib actually explode. I just saw them fall over with their body riddled with bullets.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the thinking was, changing this into a children's film. They must have just thought they could sell more, it would do better as a kid's movie in North America for whatever reason.
Revenge of the Red Baron is a movie the whole family will enjoy and is supported by a nationwide ad campaign. As an added bonus, Revenge of the Red Baron is available with Spanish subtitles for all your Spanish-speaking customers.
Very strange.
They reinserted some violence too from the screener edit, which is bizarre because the nurse's death, like the edited version from the final, is completely removed in the screen. You don't see any of it. It just cuts from them taking Mickey Rooney down the stairs to them pulling up to the house. That's really strange that they're like, oh yeah, we're making a kid's movie, but we need the nurse dead, I guess.
They were like, the nurse needs to get her comeuppance. What kind of lesson is it for kids if she doesn't get her comeuppance?
Yeah, it is much funnier in the Plain Fear edit to see her get blown away. I think it is like one of the meanest deaths in the film where the old man just has a heart attack kind of slowly though after that. That one's like weird.
But at least knowing that it's a horror movie, it all makes a little more sense because it felt particularly mean-spirited when we were watching it like for kids. Like why is everyone such an asshole?
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep decrepit piece of shit in there and you're like, oh, it's a kid's movie. Mm-hmm. It's a kid's movie. Like just cutting the violence made it fine.
But you know what made it a kid's movie? Getting rid of dialogue about garbage.
Damn it! I bet it's the Hennessy's new dog. You know they got one. Or it could be your son.
Ugh, this is too much. Get rid of that garbage talk where he says maybe the dog or your son did it. If that's gone, it's a kid's movie.
Pilnuj własnego nosa, stary degeneracie.
Oddly enough, the death/resurrection of Mickey Rooney is in any of the edits.
Right, because, he was dead, apparently.
Yeah, Matt was theorizing that, because he caught this, and again, we did not catch
it's
this.
very obvious, like, when you look back at it, but sometimes you just miss these things unless... It helps when you're editing sometimes to really be looking at the footage closer.
When we saw it, it's like, oh yeah, duh. But clearly, Mickey Rooney was edited to be alive at the end of the film when he wasn't. They were reusing footage from earlier in the movie to insert him back into the scene after he was electrocuted, and presumably that's when he died. Matt thought that maybe this was done because it was a kid's movie and they didn't want to kill the old man, even though they killed all these other characters. But no, this is just, I guess maybe they thought he would be back in any potential sequels. I'm not sure why they decided to change that, but it's in all the ones that we've seen.
Yeah, and the sequel baitings in all of them.
Well, because it was always going to have a sequel. Well, this was a really interesting rabbit hole. We had to do a follow-up video because it's just so fascinating. Like, I love looking at the mystery behind films like this. It's great that you can keep uncovering more, and it was just too much to not share.
Yeah.
It just keeps unraveling.
There's 3 edits of this one movie floating around.
Yeah, when we found out about the horror edit, we didn't realize that the screener was also an unfinished edit. That's very strange.
Weird halfway point, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess some people saw the screener version, which is why they remembered some of the violence too. But I don't know. Weird times.
Yeah. It's a weird movie, barely makes sense as anything, but it probably makes a little bit more sense as the horror movie Plain Fear than it does Revenge of the Red Baron.
Why don't you mind your own business, you decrepit piece of shit?
Thanks for everyone who pointed out the strangeness, things that they remembered, the different edits. You helped us immensely. Check out our review if you haven't. I don't know why you're at the end of this if you haven't seen it, but it was a pretty good video. I thought it turned out pretty funny. Or watch the movie. It's on YouTube. See you guys around.
Why don't you mind your own business, you decrepit piece of shit?